Now this second card uses the other piece that was cut off from the paper. And I really liked the blue on here. And so I wanted to showcase that. This is cut to 5.5 inches by 2. That was whatever the offcut was from this piece. And I have a piece of smoky slate paper, and I made this, hopefully you can see how sparkly that is. I made this with just some really beautiful sparkles, so I'll show you how I did that real quick. I have a little shaker bottle here, a little spritz bottle, and I have some of the Champagne Mist ink. This is in the annual catalog. Give it a shake, you can hear the bead going back and forth in there. And we're going to take off and unscrew the top on this because this is almost out. So to add the shimmer into the jar, this is almost like a whole big jar of Wink of Stella is what this color of the Champagne Mist is. I just dip this in and get it nice and juicy, and then squirt it around in there. So let's add some water to there. This is almost empty. And I just put it around 2 or 3 times. That way there's no dripping, there's no dropping. It's easy to keep it fairly consistent in terms of how much sparkle you have in there. So what I did was I used my shimmery mist and I spritzed this piece of smoky slate paper and I gave it a really good coating. You can see, hopefully you can see how shiny that is. Before I let it dry, and then I ran it through the Dainty Diamonds 3D embossing folder, and that just put this beautiful print in here, and with all the sparkle, and it really makes the embossing just kind of sparkle. So this card's going to look very similar in style to this other one, but we have different colors going on in here. So before we get going, I am going to adhere this down, and this is our card base that we stamped up earlier, and I'm going to put down lots of adhesive because when you do the embossing, there's less surface area for the embossing, or sorry, for the tape to adhere onto. So I'm going to give this a little extra to hold it down. And you can see the paper's even kind of wobbly or bent like that. So here we go. This is cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it does provide full coverage on the card front here. Now we're going to adhere down our beautiful designer series paper. And to do that, I am going to use some of the Stampin' Seal. Stampin' Seal and I got off to a very rocky start when it first came out, but I think I'm finally figuring out how to coexist peaceably with it. It took a while. Trust me, it took a while. So again, make sure your water droplets are facing downward. And we're just going to adhere this on and I'll line it up about 3/8 of an inch from the edge, not quite a 1/2 inch. Now for this card, we're also going to use the poinsettia that we cut out from the flocked vellum, as well as our little backer here. And I'm just going to use some glue on this one. Glue it down real good. Now again, look for the cat ears and align these together. This one I'm also going to use one of our little silver centers. adhere that. And again, for this one, we're going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. This card also gets a silver sprig, and glue that down real quick. And then we can put our poinsettia down. For this card, I am actually going to put this backer onto the back of this. And this is cut to 1 by 3 1/4 inches. And that gives me an 1/8 of an inch reveal all around. We're going to put it back into the curvy side on this punch and slide it down in the 1 inch trough here. Again, making sure that it's seated nice and centered in the middle. Now this looked like it was so much bigger than our sentiment, but it really isn't now that you cut off that extra 1/4 inch. And you have an 1/8 of an inch on each side, so that made that a 1/2 inch bigger, which is why it looked like it was so much bigger. So let's use a little bit of glue, glue this down on here, making sure to center that to give you that nice 1/8 of an inch reveal all around. Look at that. Now this, we're also going to raise up on some dimensionals. This one also goes off to the side a little bit. And for this one, I'm going to use some of the glossy epoxy drops. Because if you've watched my videos, you know I love a little bit of bling. There is our finished card. We have 2 different cards from the same piece of paper, and look how different they look. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is part 1 of a 3-part series. Check back soon and we'll have the second card sets, also using paper from Feels Like Frost, as well as some more poinsettias. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.